Welcome to another edition of the Fountain of Youth video series. Fountain of Youth, it's all about looking and feeling younger and more youthful as we get older. The better you move, the more mobility that you have, the better your functionality, the better you're going to feel. And by default, that chips away the functionality, the flexibility, the mobility. As we get older and we feel like it, and it's like, man, I feel old. Aging sucks. Well, aging is for people who don't know any better. That one I got from Tony Horton. Stuck with me, I wrote it down. So aging is for people who don't know any better. In my video series on Fountain of Youth, if you don't see it, let me know. I'll send you the link. But you can find that playlist on my website at orgasmicpathways.com. So let's get into this video. This one, we are going to focus on the importance of developing a strong rear deltoid behind the shoulder, as well as your rhomboid muscles here. So the rear deltoid muscle, or some people call it the posterior deltoid because it's on the back of the shoulder. This one, the primary movement for this is this motion here. It's when you bring your arms back. It's that, and you squeeze at the back with largely straight arms or bent arms. So what this does for a person, when you develop this, and this is strong, and I'll show you some things you can do to develop this muscle, the rear deltoid. This muscle not only looks cool, makes the back look more complete, it's aesthetically appealing whether you're a woman or a man. It's going to help enhance your natural feminine or masculine physique. But not only does it look cool, but it's also going to pull your shoulders back. As people get older, they tend to round their shoulders forward, they tend to have a sunken chest, their heads tilt forward, they start to feel older as they get older. Because this muscle, among many other reasons, one of the reasons being this muscle back here behind the shoulder, they've just let atrophy over time because they're not using it, they're not working it out and keeping it strong. So this starts to happen, and you see people walking around like this all the time. And they're not moving better, mobility, functionality chips away, and they feel older, they look older, they move like an old person, and it's just their age is showing. So we can prevent that, or we can reverse that just by strengthening this as well as other lifestyle changes. So what we can do for that is any movement that involves this. Okay, so whether it's weights on a pulley system that allows you to get that, or more than likely, the easiest way is pick up some weights, some light weights, and just do some hinge forward, hinge versus rounding and bending, hinge forward at the hips, strong base of support down here with your feet, most of your weight in your heels, 80% heels, maybe 20% in your toes. And with straight arms or bent arms, just come back up with light weights in your hand and squeeze at the top. And when you squeeze at the top, you're also going to activate the rhomboids, and I'll get into that in just a little bit here. But this is it right here, just this motion, and squeeze. When you do this particular exercise is very easy to engage other muscles, and it can be difficult to engage this muscle properly, which means it's going to be difficult to develop it. But an easy mind Jedi trick to engage this muscle properly is to simply make this mind to muscle connection, and I recommend that no matter what you're doing really, but on a move like this is even more important because it's easy to not target this muscle even though you're doing an exercise to target this particular muscle. So think about the back of your shoulder as you're coming up. And when you're at the very top, don't just bounce back down. When you come up here, pause for a second, squeeze, and really concentrate hard, making that mind to muscle connection right here so that you're activating the right muscle properly. And squeeze, and then come back down and repeat. And pick a weight that you can feel it after, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 reps. And maybe pick the correct weight to where you can't do any more after anywhere between 12 or 10 and 20. Yeah, somewhere between 10 and 20, or even a few more. But something where you physically can't do any more correctly, somewhere between 10 and 20 or more. And do a few sets of those, a couple times a week, something like that, 2 or 3 times a week. And that's a really great way to hit this area. Okay, so the rhomboids. The rhomboids, their primary mover is scapular retraction. So bringing them together, the shoulder blades together, squeezing them together. So at the top of this particular move here, You're squeezing the shoulder blades together. So various ways and angles of hitting these muscles, the back of the shoulders as well as the rhomboids, they both work together in pulling your shoulders back so that you walk with good posture, and as you get older, you'll feel better, look better, all those things, move better. If you're moving better, you're feeling better. It'll also make your chest stick out more. Ladies, here's a tip for you. The more you develop these back muscles here behind the shoulders, as well as the rhomboids, as well as the upper chest, the more you give the girls a nice lift so they continue to look young and youthful as you get older. And it's good for your posture, and you're going to feel much better as you get older too. Men, as you do this, it's just going to enhance your masculine physique. You're going to, because your shoulders are back more, your arms are also going to look bigger. Like, I'm a thin guy. It took me a lot of work to develop just what you see here, but an enhancement of that is the fact that I've also focused on the back of my shoulders and my rhomboids. So that automatically pulls my shoulders back so they don't round forward. By default, my already thin arms, they look bigger because of that. It's aesthetically correct, and it makes me feel good. And it also helps my chest look more masculine, and just my entire physique goes a long way. So whether you're female or male, it's going to enhance your natural feminine or masculine physique for all those reasons I cited and more. So the different ways of hitting these two muscles at the same time, the back of the shoulder and the rhomboid, is to, when you're hinging forward like this, you can experiment with just bringing your arms straight back like so. You can also come out at an angle, like a 45-degree angle. You can come out 90 degrees like this, 90 degrees. You can even come up a little more like this, but now you're shifting more towards the top of the shoulders as well as the trapezius muscles, but I just wanted to throw that out there as an extra bonus. But to concentrate mostly on the back of the shoulders as well as the rhomboids, you just come up and squeeze at the top, make that mind to muscle connection, and squeeze the shoulder blades together to activate the rhomboid more too. And back here, you can also mess with the grip. You can do that like I've been demonstrating with the neutral grip. You can also turn your hands like this for a pronated grip. So like this, and this is going to intensify the activation of the back of the shoulders when your hands are at a pronated grip. So you got neutral here, which is great. But if I switch that to the pronated grip, squeeze at the top, make that connection between my mind and my muscles, that's about as much as you're ever going to be able to isolate the back of the shoulders. So play with that. Do reps both ways. And with these different angles here, and 45 degrees, and also with the different grips back here as well. And bend the elbows. Do it straight arm, bent elbows. Bend the elbows up to 90 degrees, I would say, 90-degree flexion, and everything in between. And just experiment with all those different angles and really work that muscle and all those different trajectories, those muscles, plural, back of the shoulders and rhomboids. And as those get stronger, I promise, you safely do these things, you're gonna not just look better, but you're gonna feel better because you're gonna be moving better. And as you get older, there's a reward for that, big time. I'm 46. Someday I'll be 50. Someday I'll be 60, 70, 80, 90. And I will still, even at 90 years old, I will still have this posture where my shoulders, I don't even have to think about it anymore. They're just naturally pulled back because I took the time to develop this. But also, this can't be neglected. I also take time to develop the other side, because one thing it's paramount to doing to remain viable and less vulnerable to injury is to develop muscles around all aspects of the joint. So a great example that's easy to visualize is the bicep muscle here, the elbow joint. Let's say you do bicep curls all day long and you never worry about the triceps. You're not developing this. So now you have a muscular imbalance around the elbow where it's all on this side, nothing on this side, and you just open yourself up to bigger possibilities of being injured. So you just become more vulnerable. Same thing with the knee joint, another one easy to visualize. If you're just doing this and developing the quad strength up here and doing nothing for hamstring strength, knee injuries are extremely common because we're walking on them all day long. So as these get weaker and maybe you slip, you have to catch yourself real quick. A lot of people get injured that way, or their lower back, because they're not doing anything for their back, or maybe somebody just does crunches but never anything for their lower back. So a slight little slippery, you have to catch yourself. You can throw your knee out, your hip out, your lower back out, or maybe you have to reach and catch something, your shoulder goes out because you did nothing but back exercises and you never did any chest exercises, or vice versa. So as I'm giving you all these tips for the back here, the back of the shoulders and the rhomboids, make sure you also do not neglect the other side. Same thing with your knee joint, all sides, elbows, everything. So full body. And speaking of that full body conditioning, my website, Orgasmic Pathways, I've got tons of workout videos where I just do full-on workouts, conditioning the entire body. Modifications are built in so that theoretically everyone can do them no matter where you're at in your fitness journey. Modifications are built in. And it's been very helpful for people that have gone through those videos. So give that a look-see, see if that makes sense for you. And also I've got tons of meal plans, tons of healthy recipes, so that you're putting good fuel into your body to fuel great workouts and also to feel better, because I focus on a plant-based, anti-inflammation and pro-gut healthy diet. And when you have a healthy gut, you're going to feel good by default. When your body is not inflamed, you're going to feel really good by default. And your workouts are going to be better. You're just going to get more out of them. Your sleep is going to be better. Because you're getting better sleep, your workouts are going to be better. And everything complements each other. That's the basics of holistics, right? Everything affects everything. So I do my best to address everything in a holistic way. So Orgasmic Pathways, enjoy that. Share this video. Comment on it with your thoughts, things you've tried that you really like, things maybe that you need more work on, questions you have, and also ideas for new content that you would like to see me post more about. I read all that stuff. So thank you very much. See you soon.